Hey, Right Riders, Keith Wheeler here, back with another video for you. And we're going to be talking about specifically how to increase your chances of success when it comes to publishing Kindle Short Reads. So first of all, shout out to Rita Wasley, 3042, who sent in this question. Hi, Keith. Big fan of your videos. Ever since I saw your series on short reads, I have been wanting to publish short stories. I'm putting together a collection of short stories. However, I don't know if I should publish individual stories as short reads first and then publish a book collection that includes the same stories. What are your thoughts? Well, I did answer this particular message, but I also, in that comment, I told them this is a great idea for a video because I know many of you who are interested in creating Kindle Short Reads kind of have that same question. Like, how do I best my chances of success with Kindle Short Reads? Now, in that comment, she didn't mention exactly how many short stories she has. So I'm going to be going through some best practices when it comes to publishing Kindle Short Reads. And then I'm going to give an example. And the example I'm going to give, like I said, she didn't say how many she had. I'm just going to assume 10 books. Nice round number. Okay. So again, we're going to start with the best practices to increase your chances of success. And then I'm going to break it down into an example that you can actually see from start to finish. But for those of you who may be wondering, what in the world, Keith, is a Kindle Short Read? A Kindle Short Read is actually a category that Amazon can put your ebook into if your ebook is anywhere between 1 page and 100 pages long. That's right. You can have a 1-page book, not a paperback, but an ebook, and Amazon can see the length of that and put you in what they call a Kindle Short Read category. And the Kindle Short Read categories are broken down based on page length and approximately how long it takes to read them. Now, I've done an entire video on exactly what Kindle Short Reads are, and I'll include that up here as well as at the end of the video. But for now, that's a brief synopsis of what a Kindle Short Read is. So what are some best practices to increase your chances of success when it comes to Kindle Short Reads? Well, the first thing we need to know when it comes to Kindle Short Reads is think of it like food, okay? Think of it, if you're writing an epic novel, that might be a 4-course meal, right? Well, Kindle Short Reads are just that. They're short reads, bite-sized nuggets that people can consume in a short period of time. So if an epic novel is considered a 4-course meal, then think of a Kindle Short Read as potato chips. And because of that, people that consume Kindle Short Reads, they're voracious, regardless of the niche, whether it's how-to books or romance or military science fiction, it doesn't matter. They cannot get enough. Okay. So when you find a niche that you're interested in writing books in, and you, again, do a little niche research and make sure that there's people looking for short reads in that particular genre, well, then we want to make sure that we give them exactly what they're looking for. And we want to do it in ways that they can continue to come back time and time again. All right. So the first thing you want to do is you want to create a consistent brand or pen name. If you're in a niche, regardless of it, military science fiction, again, how to, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you don't want to keep publishing under different names or under different brands. If it's the same genre, you want to be consistent with your pen name or your brand name, whatever you're going by. So you need to make sure that you're consistent. Again, so that way your customers who are going to be voracious, they know that, such and such a pen name brings great content with their ebooks. So they know to keep coming back to your particular stuff. If sometimes you publish under this name and sometimes under this name, all in the same genre, then they don't know who you are or be able to differentiate you from everybody else. So you need to have a consistent brand name or pen name. So getting back to the original question that Rita had, and that is, what to do. Should I break it down into, individual short stories and publish them that way and then publish a collection, or just publish a collection? Well, the quick answer to that is if you're doing short reads, you want to break those down, right? You want to break them up into bite-sized pieces. You've got more content, right? So if you, again, in my example, I'm going to say 10 short stories. If you have 10 short stories, yes, you can put that in just one book, but then you only have one book. Whereas if you publish them separately as individual short reads, then you've got 10 different books out there, and then eventually you can put them into a collection or a bundle and sell that as a completely separate product offering on Amazon. What do we do? How do we do this? How do we increase our chances of success when it comes to Kindle Short Reads? The short answer is set up a release schedule. Okay, so in the example I'm going to give, the release schedule would be, if you've got 10 books, publish one a month. All right, that way they're spaced out enough, and there's a reason behind that. First of all, there's a section in almost every category on Amazon that's called new releases. A new release is a product, in this case, a book, that has launched in the last 30 days. Okay, so if you publish a new book, if you publish each of these short reads, if you publish them one a month, then you're always going to have a new book with your pen name or your brand, whatever you want to call it, in the new release section of whatever categories you have your books listed in. So it's an additional spot that you can have where people can see your book. So it's not just in military science fiction category, but it's also in the new release for military science fiction. So it's an extra category. So if you have your book in 3 categories, well, it's now technically in 6 because it's in the new release section of each of those. And by launching them one a month, instead of just launching them all at once, you're able to prolong the visibility on your brand or your pen name. Another reason why you want to have a release schedule, and again, in my example, it's once a month, because the customers for short reads are voracious readers, you want them to be able to count on when your next book is coming. They need to be able to know, anticipate it. And I'm gonna give you a tip in a second on how you can actually remove the assumption part and actually tell them exactly when it's gonna be out. The important part is you want them to be able to know, oh, he's coming out with a new one every single month. So I know next month there's going to be a new one out. And so they'll always be on the lookout for it. If you just launch 10 at once, well then great, they'll read them all maybe. But then after that, what do you got? You know, you don't have another book launching next month that's going to be in the new release section. Your readers, if they loved your books, they don't know when your next ones are going to come out. So again, you really want something that's sustainable, but consistent. So a release schedule is imperative. Also, by publishing them separately and not just one big book to begin with, you can utilize the comparison chart module in your A+ content. So you can actually compare those books, show what is similar about them and what is different, what makes each book unique. And this is whether it's in a series, as long as it's in the same brand, under the same brand, the same pen name, it doesn't matter. You can still do the comparison chart and still do a release schedule. Because again, we're using the same name, we're being consistent, right? And so because we use the same name, the same brand, this comparison chart is a great way to, again, draw attention to the other books that your brand offers. Now remember I said that I was going to show you a way that you can remove the assumptions and guesswork from your potential readers to know when your next book is coming out. This is what I'm talking about. In the front and the back matter of each of your short reads, you're going to include a list of, quote, our other books. And you can even include those books not yet published. So you can let them know exactly what you have, as well as what's coming up in the future. Now, if you really want to increase your chances of any kind of success when it comes to self-publishing books, or really any business, but specifically when it comes to Kindle Short Reads, is you really need to have an email list. And so you want to include a link to your email list, again, in your front matter and your back matter. Because let's be honest, not everybody gets all the way to the back of a book, even a Kindle Short Read. So you can say something like, get alerted the moment our next book is released. Because remember, these are voracious readers, so they want to know as soon as it's out. They don't want to just have to find it, right? No, they want to know as soon as it's out. So again, using the example, we have 10 short reads, right? And they're not necessarily in a series, but they're in the same genre. They're in the same niche. And so we're using the same brand. So again, we're being consistent. So this is an example of what the front matter or back matter might look like. So again, it starts off with get alerted the moment our next book is released. And it's going to have a link to where they can sign up for your email list. We're not offering anything free. If you want to offer something free, that's great. But it doesn't matter. We're just offering a link so they can get alerted as soon as we put something out. All right, so the next up is our other books. And so in this case, I just used some examples of assuming I'm in a military science fiction. Here's some titles that might be in my brand. So the first one is Stars Over No Man's Land. This book is already out there, and so it just says the name of the book. And then after that, the other books, I'm saying coming this September, coming this October, coming this November, coming this December, and then coming January 2026, and so on. So they can see not only what I've got lined up, but they know when it's coming out. They don't know the exact date because that gives it a little bit of leeway, right? So, if something takes a little bit longer, that's fine. Now, let's say that you don't know when a book's coming out. Maybe you're working on one right now. And that's another great reason why I like the schedule, having a set schedule, because that gives you time to write the next book or the next 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how long it takes you to write these books. Again, these are short reads. They could be anywhere from 1 page to 100 pages. But however long it takes you, keep that in mind when it comes to setting up your schedule. You want something, again, that's sustainable because these customers are going to get to expect it. So if it takes you a month to write, then maybe you want to space these out every 2 months, whatever. But again, this is how I would do it. So if you don't know when a book is going to launch, because maybe you've got the title, but you haven't finished it yet, you can just say coming soon. But what if you got a book and you don't have a title yet for it? Well, then you can just write, the type of book it's going to be, something catchy about it. And then in parentheses, you can say title still to come or title TBD or something along those lines. It makes them feel like they're part of it, like they're getting some insider information, right? And again, that'll give them another reason to sign up for your email list so they get to know the title of your book before anybody else. And so this right here, this example that I gave, the good thing is you create this one time for your book, right? And it's going to be in your book, again, in the front matter, I would say around the copyright page, and then the back matter at the very end of the book. But once you've created it, then all you have to do is every time you release a book, you're just going to update this. For example, coming this September, well, once September hits and the Iron Horizon launches, I can just literally take out the coming this September, just delete that part, update the manuscript, upload it to KDP, hit publish, and Amazon does the rest. Now, if you'd like a next level tip when it comes to setting up your release schedule, I would say, again, for consistency is to be consistent with when you actually publish it. So not just every month or whatever, but actually, is it going to be the third Thursday or the first Monday or whatever of every month? So again, that way the customer can anticipate when it's going to come out. So you're going to say it's coming out on every month or whatever. And in the back matter and the front matter, you're going to say coming September 2025 or however you want to write it. But if they get to know it's going to be the third Thursday or whatever, it again gives even more chances that they're going to go out there the very first day and download it, buy it, and again, start consuming it. And the more downloads you get, the more sales you get, the more chances of getting reviews. So if you found this video helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know to share this with other people who might be interested in the same kind of content. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and click that bell notification so you get alerted every time I put out new videos just like this one. Now, remember earlier I was talking about what exactly is a Kindle Short Read? Well, if this video is the first time you've ever heard of it, I do have a video, like I said earlier, right here, where I talk about exactly what a Kindle Short Read is. But if you've already seen that, YouTube says that this right here is perfect for you. So catch you inside one of these videos, and remember to write right.